All right, y'all. Just want to give a little intro here to one of my best friends, Kieran. We have a special treat. We got Kieran in here from Asheville, North Carolina. He's been the doctor of all doctors for everyone here in Austin for quite a long time until he moved away and started traveling the world. And now Reverend Kieran Kirkendall, aka Dr. K, is here to share his magic and his wisdom with all of y'all. Was an applied kinesiologist, treated over 50, 60,000 patients. Then he did like a certificate every month, every week of every month, and became a wizard and basically healer in any modality you can think of. So when you get on his table, it's transcendent, it's experience, it's spiritual, it's emotional, it's physical. You'll laugh, you'll cry, and you'll be completely transformed. His stories of healing will blow your mind. So pull him aside some time, and he'll literally like tell you stuff you've never heard before. He's like casting out demons, he's healing everyone, and he is the perfect guy for this talk right now. So, Kieran, take it away.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Yeah, we stand at the precipice of the greatest change in human history. All tribes, nations, colors, and creeds have been talking about this very moment. And there's been this battle between light and dark, between suppression and freedom. And this makes me think about when I visited Scotland a few years ago. I was on this battlefield and I decided to leave my practice in Austin and just travel and see what would happen if I would trust my compass. And so when I was on this battlefield, I closed my eyes, I put something over my eyes, and then I would sit and I would pray and I would listen. And my mind started to go crazy and I would just let go of that. And it would say, get a job, you loser. What have you done with your life, And I would let this go. And after a little bit of it, I could feel the intensity of the battlefield. This was a battle that was fought to free the Scots back in the 14th century in 1310 with Braveheart and Robert the Bruce fighting for the victory and the freedom of the Scots. It was an epic battle and tens of thousands of people were lost in this battle. Pretty incredible to sit there and I could smell the smoke. I could taste the blood. I was on my knees and I was in prayer. And I remember crying out. I had had a lot of trauma as a kid. And I remember hearing this voice, God saying, the battle that rages on this field is the battle that rages in your heart. What do you choose? And I choose to lay down my sword and my shield. And it was like, what does that feel like? And it was so vulnerable. And I just died there on this moment, on this battlefield. And this is possible for all of us through what's called organic intelligence. All of us know that. All of us here, there's so many magical, wizardy people here, and all of you are incredible. We all have this capacity, and it's my belief that we're at a time as we move into technology, we're on the verge of possibly losing the definition of what it is to be human. And so as I cried out, I got up off the battlefield. I'd been out there, it turns out to be 5 hours. And I'm walking off the battlefield, and after I stepped off the threshold under this foyer, the rain just like a typhoon rain. And I know a lot of us experience that when we're doing our work. We can actually feel the transformation and the shift in the weather. We're that powerful through our Creator and through what we were given. And so I just want you to remember today that this is one of the greatest moments in human history. And, all the wars and all the suppression have led us to this very moment. We're not here to just Netflix and chill, right? To sedate and to roll around in our fear, to be worrisome. And we are meant to be powerful in this time. And the voice, the noise is so great. There's so much distraction. There's so much addiction and confusion. My best of friends, John Conant, took his life about 8 months ago. I just visited him, and he was very red-pilled, like most of us here. We're clear of the intensity of the time, the last 5 years with the pandemic. And I want you to remember that there's been such a whispering voice, and it's gotten louder. And we used to gather around the fire, That's where I live now. There's so many barefoot people around the fire, and that really keeps me grounded and centered and feeling really whole. But we will lose it if we don't actually remember to stay centered and grounded in this time. And everything is changing. Money, sovereignty. The richest man in Babylon, Elon Musk, wants 8 billion robots on the planet by 2030. That's their own idea. And Ray Kurzweil has the vision by 2030, you'll be talking to somebody at a grocery store and they're not going to be fully human anymore. This is the augmentation of humanity, and it's extreme. It's a really important time. So I stand here because I can no longer not. You know, there's a time with a man must pull their sword. You know, there's that moment. And this is not a sword of warfare and battle and anger and this side versus that side. It's about who and what we stand for in the Creator. You know, you're a living miracle, you know, and I can prove it. Your heart beats 100,000 times every single day. I mean, are you doing it? I'm not. I would not be able to control that. 100,000 times. 65,000 gallons of blood runs through your body every single day. 23,000 breaths. How incredible is that? And we are having the capacity to evolve. We're the most sophisticated, wet biotechnology ever created in the known universe. We're not left and right angles. We're not circuit breakers and robots without feeling. We actually have this capacity, and I really want us to stop and pause. It's just like with everything that went down in the last 5 years. So many rushed in, and there's just a blink of time, you know, since the beginning of time and the dinosaurs and all the information that got to this moment. We're in these final seconds, you know, milliseconds, and all of humanity is changing. And it is my vision that we live in a world of peace, of power and prosperity. I mean, we have people that want to give love and song to children and breast milk, and we have others that are literally right now as we speak taking these children and selling them into bondage. Think about that. And nobody really wants to talk about this. I don't want to talk about this. I didn't think any of this was going to be occurring, you know, 5 years ago. And it was like, bam, in a heartbeat, it all changed. So there is a light and dark battle that is here, you know, and a lot of it will call it, you know, grandfather and spirit or God or universe, whatever that is for you. I know who I serve. And I know you guys do too if you're sitting around this group tonight. And I really ask that you choose it in a powerful way, because after 50,000 patient visits or so, I see it in my patients. There's a heaviness, right? And we need to remember to inspire the people around us and our children and our future generations. This is a beautiful time. But our families, our forefathers, our bloodlines fought through fire and famine and flood, carrying breast milk, story, and seed to get us to this moment. And I want you to take heart. And the only way we're really going to navigate this time is through a direct, centered, present connection. And I know that I'm preaching to the choir with this group, but so many are not feeling that. You know, you go to the grocery store, you look around, everyone just, hello, the weather's weathering today, and you have these short conversations, but people are carrying a lot of pain in their spirit. A lot of you guys, I'm sure, are healers in here, right? Who's the healers? I mean, all of us, but yeah, the epic body healers. But it's intense time. And so, you know, I lost 6 people I love in the last 8-9 months, 6, and I really didn't have the capacity to like eliminate and release all of this pain, and it really got to me. I'm super red-pilled. And finally, by the river in the Carolinas and the Appalachia, I said this prayer, Lord, like, use me, because I know that something great is happening, and I don't know how to serve more than exactly what I can do. And maybe I use my voice. Maybe we use our medicine. But this is the time, you know? The number one cause of death on this planet, anyone know what it is? It's a trick question. Birth. It's 100% fatal. Think about that. That means you're already free. You know, according to Wikipedia, however informative it is, there's been 108 billion people that have already lived and died on this planet. That's incredible to think about. And I just want you to remember that you are important in it, you know? One of the reasons I love living where the rivers are rich and the waterfalls are beautiful is it's where I connect. That's the original creation. To me, that's the original church, you know, before we put walls on it and called it a thing. But out there, I got this insight, and I was like, all right, God, what do you got for me today? I got nothing, just big belly of cacao. And it was like, there's these 2 vines, and you're in the garden. And one is the nature vine. That is, you know, the sun, the ocean, joy and play and laughter, the waxing and waning of the moon. It's always giving, never ending. I mean, even this, it's giving more life to the earth and the soil, and it never ends, and we are part of that cycle. And then we've got the technology vine. And if you think about it, 1984 was the first time where we actually had internet, broadband internet. 1984, I remember those days, and it was the dial-up era, right? Bang, 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 all that stuff, right? Glad we made it through that. But then, it was so frustrating. And then we've got the iPhone. That came out in 2007, you know? That's not even 20 years ago, 2007. And now everyone's on these iPhones, right? And this is essentially this is essentially an invasive species. It has wonderful things, and boy, are we using it right now. We're using it to build our companies and ask questions, but it also is an apex predator, much like a hawk, like an eagle. You know, there's nothing else more badass out in the forest than that, right? It will get its prey, and if you don't believe me, try to take your iPad away from your children, right? It's got them. And it's kind of like wrapped it around us, you know, and it's really pulled us in, and it's really created this really interesting time. So what do? Tend the garden. And I stand here today, honestly, where because of the advent of technology and TikTok, and I don't use Snapchat, that would be embarrassing, but YouTube, all this, I'm a Snapchatter, I got a bit, but all of this information, and it's wrapped us up, and it's like red pilled us to death. It's entertaining us to death. You know, if the dark one, right, the devil ever took over, it would be through being entertained. And that's what I feel is really happening. And we could call it by a lot of different names, but ultimately the original blueprint is that we are here to share and give our medicine. And the lies of that vine and the lies of the information, because it's a programmable vine. You know, apple's apple and orange is orange, but this is a technology where we can put whatever kind of information out there, and it's affecting us, I really believe, greatly, and it's dividing, based on what you were saying earlier. It's dividing society, and I believe that's the goal and the narrative of these people, the authors of it, and I'm not sure. I feel like it's really quite malevolent, a lot of the vision that they really have for humanity. It's pretty wild, but you know, we're just now beginning to understand what is possible for humanity. Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Candace Pert, Dr. Bruce Lipton, and so many other doctors out there, many, Fritz Albert Popp, and all of these people, they've shown and proven what is absolutely possible for humanity right now. And if we hand it off all over to technology, I believe we'll lose the very definition of what it is to be human. Think about that. And the augmentation of humanity is what's on the table right now. And they have a whole line of technologies that they're wanting to do, and this has already affected all of us. If we were to look at your blood under a microscope, we'll see this technology in there. We're part of a group that looks at these things, and we're seeing it, and I'm just like, wow, God, what do I do with this, you know? This is crazy. And so the way I believe I could maybe share is just like do a little bit of a show and tell, perhaps. Something simple. So maybe someone in here, does anyone in here have like a shoulder issue? I'm not talking about like torn ligaments or something, but does anyone have like a shoulder issue? Yeah, she's like, pick me. All right. Here you are. Come on up. We'll probably have you remove the very dope coat.
Okay.
Are you going to be warm enough?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So maybe stand over here, or sit over here. Which shoulder?
The left one.
Maybe sit over here. There we go. So in the office, I'm an applied kinesiologist, and I do a lot of work with functional neurology and functional medicine. We use a lot of approaches that come from quantum science, but we apply it through quantum neurological properties. So what's going on with this shoulder?
I'm going to switch it and do the other one. I changed my mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
I have them both.
Okay, well then, all right. This one's more, so let's just see what we've got. So let your arms just relax, and let me see here. So just let it fully relax, and let's see how much range of motion she has. And it jams here, you see that? Mm-hmm. It just, there's not much motion. So what we're gonna do in applied kinesiology is to actually go through and test some of this. Elbow straight for me, and we're just going to do a quick demo. And hold your arm. Don't let me push it down. So this is an anterior deltoid. We're going to come over here.
I don't have a lat on that side.
Oh, okay. Well, now it's getting, the plot's getting thicker. Hold here. Don't let me move it. That is the middle deltoid. Here, posterior deltoid. Hold there. Don't let me move it. Just keep holding. Don't let me move it. Subscap. Bring it up here. Infra. Bring it down. Teres. Hold that arm there. Good. Turn it here. And hold this arm like this. Kind of turn it in a little bit more. And don't let me move your arm. Don't take it. That's and here. And this is kind of a trick. You see how you got nothing? That's because you don't have a lat, right? That's actually a latissimus muscle test. But what we want to do is see what happened to your arm.
I was in a car accident when I was 16, and 60% of my arm was ground off. So they took my lat out of my right side and put it over it with a skin graft here from my leg and a bone graft from my hip and tendon grafts from my ankles. And there's a 10-inch titanium plate in my wrist.
Easy. Let's go. So, perfect flight. I like a challenge.
Fun, you know,
So,
like, let's do some magic.
laying
Bro.
on, it's your arm. So bring your head here and then your foot there. Beauty. And somebody just help me keep time, perhaps, so we won't lose it. Because my appointments can be like a couple hours.
Crazy.
If you get cold, let me know. But we're going to keep it simple. So elbow straight for me. Equally resist my pressure. And so you notice that she had a probably 30-degree lesser range of motion on the shoulder. Wouldn't you agree? So turn inwards. Hold there. Don't let me move it. Pec major, right? Pec major sternal. Good. Supraspinatus. Hold there for me. Don't let me move it. Hold. Good. So really one of the greatest issues really for you, you actually have pretty good function of the muscles, elbow straight, but it ultimately, hold there, is the lat. And because of the nature of the severity of it, I don't know that we'll get that to fire again. Do you have any form of lat left? This is really interesting. But here's something I want to show you. Equally resist my pressure, elbow straight. And a really good AK doc does not need much pressure, right? Very little pressure. So this is her polarity point, equally resist. I'm going to touch here. It just happens to be the pineal point. This is the only place on her body she should weaken. Scoot a little bit closer to me, darling. Thank you. Make it easier. Elbow straight. So I'm just going to go through and very quickly scan her body and ask some questions. We've got right there. So we got here, hold, left lung meridian, right lung meridian. That one's weak. We got the thyroid. We got the liver. And we'll do blood tests in the office and all sorts of really advanced testing. But this is a nice way to actually get really quick feedback. Over here, hold, hold, hold. Liver, gallbladder. Gallbladder is really weak on her. Do you feel that? Do you feel the difference? You have to really feel this sort of thing. But what are we doing? We're testing electron flow. And that goes back to your organic intelligence, that you have this electrical capacity. And there's many ways. I use different subtle energy testing. That's not very exciting to show you. So unless you're getting treated. But we're trying to find out, where does the electron flow break down in her body? Just like, where does it break down in your life, or where does it break down in your kids? And very decisively, hold here. And we're just going to ask her body, what's primary? Hold. Lung or gallbladder? It's her lung. Do you see the difference now? I'm asking a priority. I'm actually asking different hand modes. Have you guys seen any of this kind of stuff before? I know this audience is a little... If you have a really good doc, I mean, it's really amazing. Okay, so this is weak. Lung is weak, but when I ask priority, this no longer weakens, but this does. So let me ask you this. What are you giggling about? Which is giggling? Hold, 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 hold. Weak. And then put your hand on your forehead. There you go. No, like you mean it. Like it's been a hell of a day. Okay. Elbow straight. Hold. So there she strengthens. You see the difference? Take your hand off and she weakens. So I'm asking, it's called two-pointing. So we have a weakness where the interference, there's no electron flow. If we touch this area of the body, does it strengthen or does it stay weak? It strengthens. So I know there's an emotional concomitant with this. Clearly an injury that was very severe. And is this where this scar came from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
this girl's legit, because anyone that has this many death healing experience, yeah, I mean, so, yeah, you know, and people that have been through a lot of shit, really, they've had extreme intensity. I mean, that makes us great healers. You know, when I was 19, I came out of the bathroom and literally collapsed. And you could have stuck a knife through my entire body. I couldn't feel anything. I was having a coronary artery spasm, which is a heart attack without cholesterol. It's kind of like God just putting his finger right on your heart. I love that there's a heart right here. That's really dope. And you just put his finger right on my heart. Are you listening? Are you freaking listening? And I went to the hospital. I passed out. I didn't see the light. But when I came back around, there was this beautiful black man in the room. He walked in, and I had always gone by Kelly my whole life. And he goes, Kieran. And I said, yeah. And it was the first time he'd ever, that's my first name, first birth name. And he said, they wanted to take you tonight, and we weren't ready to let you go. Do you mind if I pray for you? And he came down to the feet of me, and I'm 19. I'm terrified. I freaking just had a freaking heart attack. And I've never anything more scary in my life. And he put his hands over me, and this energy shot through me, right? And I say that to say that that adversity and the shit that you're going through and that humanity is going through right now is what will catalyze us and cultivate us for this moment that I believe we're about to face. I believe that we can vision and intend and that we're here for great things, but I also believe that there's an enemy on the hill. Like, I mean, like, when do we finally say there's a fucking enemy on the hill, guys? We can't just manifest this away. Like, this is real, right? You know what I'm saying? So we have to draw our sword, but that is the sword of truth and love and connection to the greatest I am, all is, ever will be. And when we hold and harness that power and brevity in our lives, we're going to be unstoppable. And so even this is a small group here today. I just, maybe you needed to hear it, right? And so what I want to do is, yes, we can do this in the forest, which is my favorite doctor's office now, but we can do it here with the individual and your feeling and your consciousness, but I wanted to do it as a group. So you're all in the splash zone, right? So let's go. So, and then we're going to just check range of motion. Okay, thank you. So hold here. So we're going to ask now, we've already determined there's a weakness when we test over the left lung. Does anyone know what lung is? You should. There you go. So equally resist my pressure. Don't get too excited. Bring it down. You're doing so great. Bring it down. Bring it down, down, down. It'll be more accurate. I want accurate, you know. Hold. Good. So we got strong. We know that there's a weakness. And we're going to ask about the emotion of grief, the emotion of sadness. So it's more grief or sadness. So elbow straight. Don't cheat. Are you doing okay with the? Yeah, you're doing great without a lat. I'm impressed. Okay. So bring us down. Lock that arm out. So we've got, huh? I do a lot of She's a jiu-jitsu. Okay. So we've got despair. That's not it. Grief. Do you feel how grief is the one? And I say grief. And I ask, is it your grief? Is it somebody else's grief? Your grief. So when I say grief, and then we're going to do this together, we're going to show a little shift, and then we're going to eat some delicious food. Sound good? Okay. That's what I'm about. So when I say your grief, what comes to mind first of hand? Because what, and you keep thinking, what we can do is we can help her. My relationship with my dad. The father, okay. Which is really interesting, because our connection with our earthly father is very much the same as a connection with a heavenly father, or the great I am, or whatever, and it severs that. And so well done for being on the search, because that's what you just did for us. You know what I mean? It's beautiful, right? Yeah, and I see you, and I love this hair. What's up? So let's go. Redheads got to stick together. I'm okay to get mine like yours. Oh, okay. That's all right. You're still in the club. So we've got. Are you for real? The red? Oh. Is there any purebloods in here? All right, I like it. So we got grief, we got your grief, we got grief of dad. Say, I'm okay with dad. I'm okay with dad. Okay, dad. So we know that there's a breakdown. Electron flow isn't flowing, and that is her own natural organic intelligence. We're not doing anything weird. This is a legitimate thing. And after tens of thousands of patients, I can tell you it's the most incredible thing for me, because I don't really care what. It's just, I listen to the body, we release our intent, like our desire, it needs to be this to do a show or something, and it's like, wow, this is really fascinating. So we're going to come here, we're going to say grief, say, I'm okay with dad. I'm okay with dad. And what's the grief with dad? Just loss of? I just don't have the desire to connect with him, and he's who connected me to nature and taught me about being myself, but he's unreliable and inappropriate and feels like brings less to my life than I want. So the grief would be that he's unreliable or inappropriate, or what? The grief is that I love him. He's my dad. I want to be in connection with him, but it just doesn't feel right to do it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like, nah, bro. I don't want to. Well, what's the grief though?
Because that sucks. I love my dad. I want to spend time with him, but I just don't.
But you don't, because I know I'm kind of wobbling a few times.
I don't want him to die without me having like connected with him and been with him and come back to love with him, but I just don't want to fucking do that right now. Like, no, you
Okay.
need some boundaries from me.
So can you feel that for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah, just, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So elbow
That's what we're
straight.
here for.
That's what we're here for. Hold. And tonight afterwards we celebrate a victory, right? So feel, it's the grief. Say it once more.
What?
What's the grief with Dad? Once more.
I don't want him to die while we're at odds.
Yeah. She didn't want him to die when they're at odds. So feel that. We've got weakness. We're going to 2-point. That's the one, right? You see this? And so see this? Good. So that's the one. Does anyone else have a disconnection with their father? Right? The arms go up. So here's the deal as we come in for a landing on this one, is that she's going to do this very quick, simple process. We're going to do it with her, because it's not just her. Her stuff is your stuff, and your stuff is my stuff. We're not separated. That's organic intelligence. That's how we work and how we can uphold and support one another in this time in your own unique way. Does that make sense? So I want you to take a moment and I want you to feel the grief. If you have something in grief around your father, feel it. If you have grief around something else that's really significant, just really allow yourself to do this for a moment. So maybe close your eyes and I want you to feel that grief. I want you to, can you get your hand here, darling? This one or whichever?
Yeah.
Whatever's easiest. Does this one work?
What do you want me to do?
Just touch right over this lung point. We're going to connect the circuit where there was a breakdown, and this hand goes over the forehead. Good. And just feel that grief for a moment. Good. And you guys feel that grief. This will only be a moment. We're going to stimulate with light. Light and sound is the future of medicine, and it's already here. They just don't tell you that on PBS. Feel that grief. I want you to notice where it's at in the body. I want you to feel it fully, the size, the shape, the intensity, the weight. And you guys too, feel it, like where is it really in my body? And I know a lot of us in this audience know how to do this, but this is an excuse, an opportunity for us to actually do it together. How freaking cool is that? And I want you to just, can you feel that fully? She's got it. I want you just to widen back now, kind of step back and observe yourself and just see it like, well, there it is. Look at me, this living, breathing human on this planet. One of 108 billion people that have come and gone. I'm the next one, and I'm carrying this, and this as my song and my story and my seed. I can release this, and we're going to do this as a group here. And when you're ready, you're just going to breathe. And all of us, we're just going to collectively let it go together. Deep breath in and out. Another deep breath and out. Beautiful. And now let's do one last thing. I want you to just breathe in. You can relax your arms here. You did great. Thank you, guys. Let's bring in, what is the opposite of grief for you? Maybe it's joy. Maybe even though it's like, I don't want to do that right now with my father. Bring in, what is it you want to bring into that space and place in your body and your heart for today and moving forward. And this is how I believe we connect, like we did. I was speaking about the battlefield in Scotland. We can do this, and like they're not telling us this, but I can tell you this is a real thing. So hold this in your heart and just amplify it together, because when two or more are gathered in a prayer like this, there's so much grief on the planet, and this is the time where you just feel the joy, feel it, emanate it. One more deep breath. Allow yourself to enjoy it. Good. So we're going to tap. We're tapping on the post-central gyrus of the premotor cortex of our brain, just to integrate this information. Say, hey, body, you don't have an injury here. And let's do this. You did so good. Thank you. So let me have you sit up once more. and turn around to this gorgeous audience. Let me do one last little thing. This is an arthro We're just going to use it to help this shoulder. Hey, I said the robots also have good fruits. Little robot. It's okay. Wow, that scar. You have been through it.
I know.
Right? So let this arm here, chest out like you're proud. Bring your arms down to your side. Take a deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. Deep breath. Once more. Thank you guys for participating. Truly. This is so much bigger than just, like collectively we can shift so much. Let this arm relax. Let's see how much range of motion. We had a huge decrease earlier. And hold for me. Let your arm relax. Good. Let it fully relax. Don't help me. Good. Boom. See the difference? So
Yay!
I just want to say finally, thank you. You guys are awesome. But like really, this is thank you. Yeah, like really, this is an incredible time. This is an incredible time. This is an incredible moment. You are needed in this time, and we are connected in a way that we have no idea. And after working with tens of thousands of patients, I'm convinced of it. But I'm tired of just doing it in my little office. Right? We need to bring this out in the world. And remember this: just your own heart coherence and your connection to the Creator, being aligned with your mission will allow you to guide it and to be able to that you really have that you can offer the world. So I love you. Thank you. Let's eat and have fun. All right.
Yes.